Hello and welcome back to my channel where I try and create home decor stuff on a budget. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this side table with a marble turntabletop by using some wooden dowels and some liquid nail. Now I have tried my best here to explain the steps and most of it is pretty easy to understand as you see this video, but in case you have any doubts or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's dive into this video to see how I made this marble side turntable. So first we are starting with the legs or the bottom part of the table. I am starting by measuring and cutting 24 inches of the thick dowel and I will be needing 3 pieces of it. The exact thickness of the dowels that I have used here is mentioned in the description box below. These 3 pieces will be the legs of our side table. Now we will also be needing another piece which will act as an extra support and will be placed in the center of the stool, but we will cut this piece a little later. Once the leg pieces are cut, I am marking 3 inches from one of the ends on all the 3 dowels that we just cut, and I am pre-drilling a small hole in them. Now I am going to use a bigger drill and will make a bigger hole in the small hole that we just made. Here I am using some masking tape to mark how deep of a hole that I want, because I obviously do not want a hole that is through and through. Then I am using a thinner dowel, again the thickness of which is mentioned in the description box, to see if it fits in the hole that I just made. I will repeat these steps with the rest of the 2 dowels as well, while making sure that the thinner dowel fits perfectly in the holes that we have created. Next, we will be making the top base for the stool, for which I am taking this circular wooden disc and I have already made a small hole in it. To create a bigger hole through this tiny hole, I am inserting this thin dowel, marking exactly how much of it fits, and then I'm going to cut that small piece off. Then after placing this tiny piece of the dowel in the hole that we just created, we are going to use a drill bit and will make a bigger hole. Now next we will be finding the angles at which the legs of the stool will be oriented, for which we will be needing a bit of math and some calculations. I am drawing the outline of the thick dowel on a sheet of paper and then marking the center of the circle. Then after making a line that passes through the center, we will mark angles at 120 degrees, 180 and 240 degrees by using a compass. Now of course you can use a protractor for making these angles, but I couldn't find mine, so I ended up making these angles the old school way. Next, I am placing the same dowel along the outline that we drew earlier and marking these angles on it. Then we will extend these marked points into lines by using a square. We will then measure and mark 3 inches on the lines that we just drew. And after that, we will align this dowel with the earlier 3 dowels on which we had made the 3-inch hole already, and then mark the points in accordance with these dowels. Make holes at the points where the 3-inch mark and the lines made before meets with the same bit size as before. Once we have drilled holes at all the mark points, we will dry fit the thin dowel and see if it fits or not. Now to find the length of the shorter connecting dowels, which is basically this part of the stool, we will check the arrangement in respect with the tabletop that we are using. As you can see that the diameter of the top that I have used is approximately 16 inches. So the center dowel will be placed at around 8 inches. And considering that the marble top is not a perfect round shape, I will try and keep the legs at around 2 inches from the outer rim of this marble top. So this will give me the length of the thin dowel that I need to cut, which will be around 8 minus 2, which is 6 inches. This 6 inches of the thin dowel will give this whole setup some extra support, which we absolutely need since we do not want the marble top to fall on someone's leg. Here I am measuring, marking and cutting 6 inches of this thin dowel, and we will be needing 3 pieces of these. After all the measuring and cutting, we are left with 3 thin pieces of dowel of 6 inches, which will give the extra support to the stool, and 4 thick dowels of 24 inches, which will be our legs for the stool. Dry fit the thin dowel pieces to see that they fit with the leg pieces, and then glue all of it by using some wood glue. Now moving on to making the top part of the stool, measure and mark 1 5 by 8 inches on the other end of the center dowel and cut off that extra length. Next, arrange the center dowel into the groove of the center wooden disc that we had made earlier, and then pre-drill a hole through the hole of the wooden disc just to mark where the hole in the center dowel will go. Once done with the starter hole, go in and make a bigger hole of around 1 inch deep into the center dowel. Then use a thin dowel to pass through the wooden disc and into the hole that we just made in the center dowel, such that this thin dowel joins the center dowel and the wooden disc together. Mark the point where this thin dowel snugs in perfectly and cut that much amount, as this tiny piece will act as a dowel joint between the wooden disc and the center dowel. Glue this tiny thin dowel piece into the hole of the center dowel, and then once this dries, glue this whole thing with the wooden disc at the center hole. Now I had not cut the exact length for this dowel joint, so I had to cut off the extra length that was sticking out of the hole. While gluing this part, make sure that it's at 90 degrees with the surface, as in it's like perfectly straight. Now the hole that we had made at the bottom of the center dowel earlier, I have extended those lines to the other end, that is where this wooden disc is now joined. I am making a hole on this line just above where the wooden disc is and in correspondence with the line I just drew. Again, measure, mark and cut 3 pieces of 6 inches of the thin dowel. Then mark where the other end of the 6-inch dowel touches the leg pieces and make a hole at this marker point. Glue these 3 new dowel pieces on the top end of the legs. Now comes gluing all the setup together, where we will apply glue on the thin dowels of the leg pieces and then join them to the top and bottom part of the center dowel. To secure the wooden disc and the entire lower part of the table, use liquid nail and let it dry. To get the metallic gold look, spray paint black first on the legs, let it dry and then spray paint gold on it. Apply a generous amount of liquid nail again on the top of the wooden disc and then place a marble piece on top of it. And there you have it. Your marble side turntable is ready. I feel that this looks great as an accent piece, but in case you do not want to work with marble, you can always get a wooden turntable and things would be a bit more easy. Let me know what you think of this side table decor piece. If you liked it, then press that like button, comment down below with your views and feedback, share it with your friends and family, and of course, subscribe to my channel to get new DIY ideas and hit that little teeny tiny bell next to it to remain updated on when I upload my future videos. Thank you so much for your time. Please take care and stay safe.